Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Almost forgot my name again. Hey, how about that? Yeah, we got some more Gigguk. Best of Anime 2023. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen a lot of anime this or last year. I'll go ahead and like it. I saw obviously Vinland Saga season 2 was amazing. Farron, that's this year, right? It might have been a little bit of last. No, it was last year, kind of. I've seen like clips of Farron. Everybody raves over it. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I think Chainsaw Man was also last year. I only saw the first 5 or 6 episodes. I'm really bad about finishing things I start. But yeah, anything else, it's just kind of a blur to me. But we'll find out a lot more about that with the Gigguk. This is a long video. This is going to be... I generally don't do 30-minute videos just because it's a long time to wait to sit through and and it's just long videos. It gets a little iffy if I'm just actually reacting to it or if I'm just sitting and watching it. So that's why I don't do these long videos. But I'm sure I'll have things to say. Let's go. Oh yeah, Zom 100. I forgot about Zom 100.
Passed us by, and with it has gone another year of anime. We got good shows, we got bad shows, but the real question is, what are the moments that are going to be remembered?
I still have yet to see Zom 100. I hear it's good. Oh, sure. Already pausing. I didn't see the last season of Attack on Titan, the last little movie thing, but. Trigun, I just refuse to watch it. No offense. I'm sure it's fine. It's different than what I grew up with. That's all. I'm stubborn like that. Oh yeah, then that one, and that one, and that one.
2023 was a year dominated by absolute heavyweight shows just completely taking over. Anime seemed inescapable whether you were a fan or not. Successful live-action adaptations, legendary series coming to an end, memes, so many memes.
There are
it feels like the influence of a handful of shows have truly seeped into mainstream pop culture and only continues to grow from there. But there were still some other things happening around our little sphere. Anime fans continue to find any opportunity to complain about CG. This time, even Demon Slayer was catching strays, with viewers complaining about how these fishes look like an absolute joke. How dare any animation studio consider this acceptable quality, they cried. Meanwhile, in Isekai land...
Whoa.
This is what peak CGI looks like. Tagashi drew 2 lines and got 44 million views, 400k likes, and 100,000 retweets.
Good for him.
Meanwhile, I'm out here drawing at least 8 lines, and I'm still waiting for Shonen Jump to hit me up with that.
PewDiePie's doing pretty good with his drawings, so that's cool.
A manga deal. One Piece defied all odds by giving us a live-action adaptation that didn't suck, while the Jujutsu Kaisen fanbase came together to collectively say, nah, I'd win. Which is what I think they say when they enter a contest of who can more effectively spoil their fucking series. But they would probably win against this random dude from Mashal.
I am Rhodes Emus!
I mean, look at him. He lasted like 2 seconds. Who the hell would play a character like that? Probably some dumbass hack. For real.
Oh, that was... 10 years. Was that seriously him? Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Congrats. That's awesome. Huh. Thought that was a joke.
Now, since I've been doing these yearly anime recaps, I have gone through a bloody decade of anime, and a lot has changed during that time. I can only imagine the wild things that were happening in 2013 back then. Hayao Miyazaki finishes his latest feature film, The Wind Rises, just before announcing his retirement from filmmaking at the ripe young age of about 197 years old. So that was a fucking lie. There are a lot of shows that didn't make my list this year. Not because they weren't good, but because I didn't have much to say about them other than it was good. Hell's Paradise was fun. So was Mashal. So was Undead Unlock.
I hear that's good.
I'm sure the West will appreciate Uma Musume as much as Alicia does. Today is...
Dude, some of that animation in the horse racing girl anime has better animation than Berserk deserved that kind of animation. It's ridiculous.
Not that day. Mushoku Tensei continued my favorite isekai story of all time by having its main character go,
I cannot get it up.
People have been trashing Rudy left, right, and center, but I think he's proved he's a real gentleman by showing that he never, ever raises his sword at a girl. Alright, let's get to my favorite shows of the year. But before we do, a quick word from my sponsor, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering a box of awesome top shelf good from under the radar brands. Every month they introduce their members to cool new products based on a preference quiz they fill out. They've got awesome clothes, cool cool stuff for your house, camping, and cooking gear. Basically, just high quality stuff in every category. 90% of their products come from small brands based right in the US. They now offer a new membership program where you can get really great deals all year round.
I might, man, I wish I still drank. Yeah, but that stuff looks pretty cool. I'd take a look at that.
And I'm talking 30% off or more sometimes, and it's totally free to join. You can also preview your membership right before it's sent. You can decide if you want to keep it, swap it out for other products, or skip this month entirely for no charge. You only pay what you want.
Schmokey.
This month, Bespoke sent me their headshot box, and they must have been listening, because not only do I have everything here to make a legitimate taco, I also have a make my own hot sauce kit, and I have been missing spicy food in Japan for so much. It's so hard to find good spicy food here. So you know what? I'll just make it myself.
Really?
They also sent me that checkmate box with this really cool chess set and scorecards. Exactly what I need to remind myself of my chess victory over Connor. To get a free mystery gift with your first membership purchase, just click that link in the description and enter Gigguk gift at the checkout. Or
I'll put a link in the description for his video, so you can go do that.
go to bespokepost.com/GiggukGift. Thanks to Bespoke Post for the sponsor. And now, back to the video.
Zom 100, I hear it's good.
The zombie genre is probably one of the most saturated and overdone genres you can find in any entertainment medium. About 10 years ago, yet somehow in 2023, we still got an entirely fresh and original take on it in Zom 100. Zom 100 tells the sad story of Mapper employees. Overworked and undervalued by the company overlords that run their lives, it takes an entire zombie apocalypse for Akira Tender to start living the life he should have. This show felt like a personal call-out for anyone who's ever worked a dead-end job in their lives and has daydreamed of something, anything happening to take away their responsibility out of their hands, even if that thing is the end of the world. Akira personifies that feeling of pure freedom we all secretly wish we had. That feeling that breaks the shackle of responsibility, of having to go to work, of having to wake up for school the next day. Eren Yeager looks at him and goes, "Fuck that guy," which is embodied in one of the most impressive opening episodes all year, where you could feel that every single person working on it channeled their passionate hate.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about newer anime that's coming out, but it's all like done as like the opening episode is like a movie. It's like an hour long. I don't know why they're doing that, but I mean, hey, if it works, you know.
Hatred of all the previous employers that had ever wronged them. Unfortunately, it felt like a lot of the hype got taken away, largely due to episode releases being plagued with constant delays because of time slots and supposed production issues. Oh hey, would you look at that? Even though the show lost some steam as it went on and was tonally a bit all over the place at times, it was still a fun little show I think anyone could enjoy, because in this day and age where it feels like people are fighting tooth and nail just to survive, I think a lot of us could use a story about one man reminding us all how to live.
Word up. Yeah, I wanted to check it out, but I just haven't had, I haven't had time for anything. Why is this?
The most respected genre in anime, but this year we saw the 100
I was like, there must have been some copyright in there.
girlfriends who love you come along and personally made sure that it never will be. This is the story of a man who got rejected so many times, who had such negative riz. God took pity and gave him 100 different girls he had to date or they'd all die. This was like watching someone dying of thirst in the desert, and then God goes, "All right, I've got a solution." I'm listening. Just fucking drown him. But what God didn't plan for is that he chose someone who could chug the ocean dry and still have room for more. 100 Girlfriends has a concept so dumb, it will need to be as batshit crazy as its own premise to even have a chance.
Yeah, we watch. Okay. I just wanted to go back and
Friends has
see
a concept so dumb
quick.
it will need to be as batshit crazy as its own premise.
Nope.
So even have
there it is. All right. Yeah, I saw his earlier video on that. It looked pretty interesting. Looked fun. Anyway,
chance at making it work, and that's exactly why it does. It's stupid, it's unhinged, it knows exactly how insane it is and then runs with it 10 kilometers past where it needed to go. By all means, this show shouldn't have worked if we didn't have the greatest harem protagonist to bring it all together. Yes, we were Grace with the apex of boyfriends, the partner she tells you not to worry about. He may look like the most unthreatening guy possible, but watch him be like, "Don't worry, I come in peace. Hi, what's your name?"
Peace.
Oh.
It's rare for me to laugh at a comedy anime, and even rarer when it comes to lowbrow harem rom-coms, but 100 Girlfriends was a showcase of how to do a parody correctly, reinforced by Bibri Animation Studio doing a bang-up job selling all of these jokes in the anime adaptation. They went above and beyond, and I can't wait to see how they adapt the manga beyond the wait, what? Why are you all running away?
Oh my god. Jeebus Christos. Oh no. you know, I
In the
already
minds of
told you
anime
how I feel
fans,
about
3D animation comes in two tiers. There's the Berserk 2016 tier, a show so disastrous it has scarred the anime community from 3D anime to this day. And then there's this, the aesthetic that looks like one of those games I apparently won't last 5 seconds playing. The real ones know, though, that Studio Orange has been out here creating their own tier.
Yeah.
Every project, they seem to continually push themselves,
forgot about
one-up
Beastars.
themselves, and Trigun Stampede is their best-looking show yet. Not just with some of the jaw-dropping action sequences and camera work, but small micro-expressions and camera animation that give their work just a bit more life. They are still continuing to push the boundary of
Yeah,
what
it
is
looks
possible in a 3D
like a
anime
thing.
in every way possible. When I got the lucky opportunity to talk to a producer at Studio Orange, he called themselves the hentai of the anime industry.
Okay.
And, well, that's pretty accurate because what they've done with Trigun Stampede has got me bricked up. Alright, but how's the show?
Is it good? I
Trigun
don't
is
know.
one of the most beloved anime from the old school Adult Swim era, and when you take on the mantle of rebooting a
Yeah, and the fact that I didn't see Millie in the previews and from the clips I saw, so I was like, oh no, Millie. Millie's my favorite girl. I don't know.
franchise like this, you always have to contend with picky fans comparing each and every little change in detail. Vash's bounty is way smaller. He has a different haircut, different gun, character designs that looks like this now look like this. Huh? Now where have I seen this aesthetic before?
I might be confusing Millie with the other girl.
Oh, the spaghetti western feel takes a backseat to fully flesh out a hard sci-fi story. It's more dark, more gritty. One of my favorite things from the original being Vash and Wolfwood's epic buddy cop dynamic feels a tad more intense.
I'll skin you alive and play with your bones until you're begging to die. You
Word.
got that straight.
Make no mistake, this is an entirely new Trigun, but
Yeah.
one thing I can always respect is when a reboot tries to do something different that the original didn't already do, and by the end of the season, it becomes abundantly clear what all these changes were leading up to, and goddamn did it leave me wanting more. In a time where I feel like we're getting starved of
I
good,
might
hard
check
science
it
fiction anime, this has to be one of the most unique and interesting sci-fi worlds we've seen in years. And I honestly think the way things are set up, it has the chance to do even more than the original did if it gets future seasons. When people remember Trigun, they say, oh yeah, Trigun. I freaking loved Trigun. But if you ask them before that what they recommended we go back and watch, Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah.
Trigun has always been on that second or third echelon of recommendations.
Yeah, kind of. I guess like if I were to recommend an anime to somebody who doesn't watch anime, Cowboy Bebop would be number one because it's supposed to be like an ode to Western media. There's even a blaxploitation episode in episode 10. I think it's Mushroom Samba, which is like out there. It's like, why? And it's very respectful. It's like very Black Dynamite. And you're supposed to watch it in English. So yeah, that's a good first timer. Trigun's a good first timer too, to get somebody to watch it in English. It's good.
Behind the classics, and I fully believe that with what Studio Orange have set up with this season, it has the potential to go up to this tier.
Ooh, this was
There were a few
a
anime
big
last
one.
year that exploded onto the scene as fast as Oshinoko did. Our hearts were torn to shred in a tragic 90-minute opening episode. A new meta was formed as anime companies saw the feature-length opening premiere and said, wait, you can do that?
Yeah.
It's free real estate.
The opening song became the very first Japanese song to top the global Billboard 100 charts. The people
Yeah,
of
it
my
was
anime
so
list
weird.
came together and went, fuck you, Fullmetal Alchemist!
Oh,
This is the
you
greatest anime ever
bastards.
made. Then, everyone remembered there was an entire rest of the show you needed to watch. Describing the plot of Oshinoko
okay.
is like, alright, so there's a doctor who's a huge fan of this one idol, and it turns out that idol he likes shows up at the hospital, but
I didn't watch
it
it.
turns out he gets born as that person's crazy fan comes back and becomes their mom as well, and it's maybe the same person, maybe not, but then because his mother's really traumatic. So, it's an idol anime? No. Sometimes Oshinoko is a victim of its own insane premise. Like, I don't even know if I fully understand this main character. A grown-ass, idol-obsessed man who gets reincarnated as the son of the girl he idolized and grows up being obsessed with his now mum and any other girl who even remotely reminds him of her. Like, if I call him a motherfucker, is he more likely to say fuck you or yes please? Here's a feed of Sigmund Freud's grave right now.
Yeah.
But behind all that, the show shines
A
as
lot.
this interesting, no bullshit, Instagram filters off look at the Japanese entertainment industry, showing you what really happens behind those closed
Yeah,
doors
that's pretty
when the
cool.
cameras are turned off.
I hate the media!
This was the show that tricked everyone into thinking they were watching another Idol anime, when in reality it was almost the complete opposite. And the real ones know the true thing single-handedly elevating the reputation of Idol fans in 2023 is the sheer existence of Aoi Todo. With how popular this got, I find it interesting how much I heard this title being thrown around last year when most people saying it probably didn't even know what an Oshinoko is. See, in Japanese, Oshi means a person who I support, and in idol culture is normally used to refer to someone's favorite idol. So the term Oshinoko has a clever double meaning that could be my favorite idol or my idol's children, which both perfectly describe the show. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Oshis are worshipped in idol fandom in the same way that Taylor Swift has become the Jesus for white women.
Ooh, Taylor Swift. Honestly, I've never even listened to Taylor Swift. I'm pretty sure I've heard a song here or there, but I just don't really. I hate the Chiefs. I'm a Broncos fan, so obviously we're in the same division. Oh yeah. I still haven't seen this. People tell me to watch it.
You're a fan of British food. People think you're consuming the most bland, tasteless piece of garbage the world has ever seen.
Yuck.
But sometimes I have a friend come visit and they have a taste of a proper full English breakfast, a perfectly cooked Sunday roast. They try some of our Cornish pasties, our crisps, and it's like, damn, this is pretty good actually. That is my Eminence in Shadow. This takes every single trashy, cliche tropes you scoff at in Isekai and wears it like a badge of honor. Edgy main character, an army of girls in his harem, blatant power fantasy, nonsensical plot lines, cheesy dialogue, boobs. You know it shouldn't work, but it wears it all so proudly you start getting convinced that it's actually cool. It's not that it isn't stupid. It is stupid, but it doesn't give a fuck if you care or not. And I thought this would eventually run its course until I kept watching and realized that this has a more interesting plot and better world building than 90% of Isekai out there, which actually says less than you think. For as self-aware as it is, it spares no expense in building up this
Everybody knows I love Isekai. I don't.
fleshed out world with so many moving parts.
But this looks
every new arc, you see the dominoes being perfectly laid out. It's all set up for Sid to come in and topple them on the biggest stage possible. And even though you know it's happening, when the moment comes, it delivers every single time. This was the most fun I had with any show all year. And just when I think the plot has nowhere else to go, season 2 ends with a world-shaking development that made me go, fuck! Why aren't more Isekai doing this? I guess what I'm trying to say is, I really miss Greg's.
Okay. I hear about Greg sometimes. I have read the manga, and I did a long time ago. I just read like the very end of it, pretty much, when Attack on Titan was milking whatever relevance they had by having like, I don't know, the final season split up into like 3 different seasons or 3 different movies, and I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, but it's about as I guess I was under the impression that they were going to change the anime, so it made you want to watch it, but it was the same as the manga. So not like the best ending in the world, but very like it's very like, oh, okay, well, everything's all wrapped up in a neat little package. Nothing really crazy happened there. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. But they left it open for some more stuff, so that's interesting.
One man's freedom is another man's genocide. Eren Yeager, probably. Attack on Titan ended this year, and the internet had opinions. If you only browsed Twitter, you might have thought half the people either think this was a masterpiece ending, no flaws, 10 out of 10, we all won, we all lost. Eren is a bird. Or this ending ruined the series, ruined the characters, made the entire show pointless, spat on the legacy of everything he had done. No one's going to remember Attack on Titan now. Eren is a bird.
Today, we're going to talk about how to stop smoking crack.
Now, with real people I've actually talked to, the consensus seems to be that this was a satisfying conclusion that did everything it needed to do. Okay. I had my slight nitpicks with the execution of this ending, but absolutely none of it took away from my love for this series as a whole. What Attack on Titan has achieved and the impact it's had on the global reach of anime is something that will go down in history as one of the defining shows of this era. This might not be my favorite ending of all time, but it is certainly the ending to one of my favorite anime of all time. So for one last time, thank you, Attack on Titan. Only those around now will know that feeling of after years of waiting through final seasons of final parts of final episodes.
Thank you.
2023 was that time we could definitively say that this was the final bit of Attack on Titan we'll ever get to sell. God damn it.
Told you. It's such a cash cow. I mean,
Sometimes you just need a dose of wholesomeness to brighten up your
Yeah.
day. But being a dude watching anime can sometimes feel like,
So what anime have you been watching? Oh, I'm watching this anime called Skip and Loafer, and it's just one of the most cute and adorable... Catch like this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen at all?
there was nothing in 2023 that made me come out of every episode feeling as good as Skip and Loafer did. This shit was a weekly injection of
Never heard of it. I gotta check that out.
sunshine into my veins. I mean, just look at this opening alone. The colors,
Doggies.
the vibes, the catchy
Pop-push.
song, this goddamn dance. It's enough to make any grown-ass man internally scream, ah, this is so cute. Fuck yeah, violence, am I right, lads? Skip and Loafer is about as straightforward as you can get. A country bumpkin moves to the big city and adjusts to her new high school life. It doesn't need any complex plot because it exudes this air of authenticity that makes you feel so goddamn good. It's rare to find an anime as genuine as this one, because when I say high school life, I don't mean your typical cutesy anime high schoolers that are like, these are teenagers, real
I'm glad the Moe era has ended. Like, ugh.
teenagers just enjoying their lives to the fullest. No melodrama, no overly anime bullshit. This is youth and adolescence at its most pure without feeling like it's been put through some Moe anime filter. And
Thank
there's
you.
just something so endearing about that. But Gigguk, I'm an adult. Why would I be interested in teenagers? Look, as a certified man, wait, that line sounded really wrong. Look, as a certified man baby pretending to be a grown-up, let me tell you, adulting sucks. We have jobs, we have responsibilities, we have goddamn taxes. Sometimes you yearn for a time when life was simpler and more straightforward, and maybe that time is romanticized. Maybe you're looking back at
Maybe.
the time through rose-tinted glasses. But whether you are or you aren't,
To be fair, I was a dork in high school, and I was also in the anime club at one point, so I don't miss high school. I do not.
you'll never know, because we'll never be able to get that time back again. Ever. And it's those little moments, those simple times you cherish and reminisce about that this show encapsulates perfectly. Like, there's this one scene where our main girl comes home for the first time during her summer break. She stayed up way too late catching up with her friends and slept in, but it's alright. Her mum's taken the day off and she has the whole
Pop-boys.
summer ahead of her. So on this boiling hot day, her mum slices her up a watermelon and the episode slows down to a crawl as we see her just taking a moment to enjoy this watermelon while the sounds of summer ring on in the background, and she just stops and just appreciates.
Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Takashi. What is it? Takashi Kashi. That was a good one. Anyway, just the summer thing.
姉ちゃん、ふみちゃん来たよ。あ、ごめん、ふみ。ちょっとだけ待って。
And just like that, her summer was over.
Oh. I'm guessing this is also copyrighted because there's no music. Okay.
When anime wants you to know one of its characters is crazy, it goes. When
Hey, those
anime
guys are
is trying
crazy.
to hint at something important, it's like.
Hey, that's important. Hello there.
Subtlety in anime is used.
Ooh, that Vince McMahon thing. I'm not a fan of wrestling, but that happened. I know it's not anime related, but ooh, oh boy, Vince.
Using a chainsaw to dice an onion. But what happens when a show comes along that treats you like you have the IQ that Rick and Morty fans say they do? You get Heavenly Delusion. Here is a
Oh, I
show
heard
that
about
doesn't
this.
take you by the hand and leads you, but leaves
like
you
a
to
little
discover the
mystery
story on
thing.
your own. It drops you into this insane world, gives you a hand-drawn scribble of a map, and says, figure it out yourself. It's episode 1. Boom, we see a
It seemed
duo exploring
interesting.
a ruined Tokyo that gets in some kind of altercation with some bandits. Alright, you get the idea. It's some post-apocalyptic world, people are fighting for survival, and
Would you look at that? Oh, I am. And I like what I see.
What are you ladies doing?
This doesn't have the ugly bastard tag on it. The girl brings out a gun that looks like this and immediately gears start turning. Wait, is this some sci-fi world shit or is that a damn Fisher-Price toy, you think? The bandits start attacking anyway and they fight back, so you're like, ah, okay, maybe she was just bluffing, so this is just a normal world after all.
All right. Okay.
Oh, that's a gun. In a single scene, the show has set up its world, got you asking questions, played with your expectations, answered your question, left you needing more answers, all without directly telling you a goddamn thing. This is Heavenly Delusion for all 13 episodes. This had
Cool.
one of the most intriguing worlds of any show this year, but trusted you to piece everything together yourself. There is no wasted scene, no out-of-character moment. Everything is a possible puzzle piece that clues you into the bigger picture. What happened to this world? Why are there nightmarish creatures that are eating people? What kind of sick experimentations is going on behind the scenes? Were you paying attention even now? Because
No.
you just saw a random drawing of a fish with legs that looks oddly like this horrific thing. And the real question is, did you see a connection without me saying anything? Only by watching intently do you realize how many crumbs are hidden in plain sight. You get given enough to get a rough idea, but never enough to see the full picture, and it's that unknown that makes this world as intriguing as it is goddamn terrifying. By the end,
Okay.
we've only just seen a slice of the larger whole, but it's so refreshing to see an anime that will have your neurons firing in a way where you don't have to worry about watching with headphones on for once.
Baka, yabai.
Most of the time.
Oh god, probably a lot of copyrighted music, so I'll make up the music. A beep bop boo doo doo doo. That guy's cool, and so is he. A beep bop boop. They got powers. Look at him go. Look at me.
And I don't want to watch these Chinese cartoons, but in 2023, anime went, all right, but what if we had Chinese cartoons? Japan.
Oh yeah.
Apothecary Diaries is an
I heard
anime
about
that
this.
takes place in ancient China.
People talk about it. Well, mostly. I think it's mostly a made for women, but yeah, the animation in it looked really good from what I saw.
Not China, in a palace setting that immediately
China.
reminded me of these badly dubbed Chinese soap operas I sometimes walk into my mum watching as a kid. At the beginning, I didn't fully realize what the big hook of this show was. Was it the House MD style medical detective stories? Was it the historical drama surrounding the palace politics? Yes. But on top of that, it has, simply put, the best female character we could find all year.
Really?
Sometimes that's all it takes. For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No. How about nothing more than just a well-written, believable, compelling female protagonist? And this. Mao Mao is a character that deserves to be in the running for one of the best protagonists we saw in 2023, and was such a breath of fresh air to see. Her presence was overpowering without conforming to what a lot of shows seem to think a good female character is. It's not that she's not like other girls, or premium waifu bait, or a strong female character trademark. She's just a girl. A well-written, believable one that doesn't
And
forget that
brave.
she's a person first before being just another girl. She doesn't have to be unfeminine to find the overly flirtatious attitude of some pretty boy unappealing. She cannot be your typical waifu bait and still absolutely slay when she needs to. She's not strong because she can beat up 100 guys, but because she's headstrong in
being
her
sick
own
again.
values and beliefs. Here is a clever realist who acknowledges her place in the palace hierarchy, but isn't afraid to throw hands when shit needs to get done.
Damn, my girl just factory reset that bitch.
Seeing Mao Mao passionately solve these medical mysteries while asserting her fucking dominance all over the palace politics made this such a compelling watch. And hopefully
pretty
more
cool.
shows will be able to take note of great characters like this.
Word up. There's so much. Okay. I was like, another copyright? Oh, I heard about this. I wanted to see this. I just don't have time, man. I saw the clips of it. I was like, oh my God, this animation's really good. Oh,
Appreciating the statue of David up close, getting to see Lionel Messi dribble past 5 players, watching
Whatever.
Jack Nicholson command every scene he's
Heck.
in. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, it's always enthralling to see an absolute master of their craft at work. And that's the exact feeling I get whenever I get to see anything written by Naoki Urasawa. And Pluto was
Looked pretty
absolutely
badass.
no exception.
I once created a robot that was perfect. The greatest robot the world has ever seen.
There are only a few mangaka that can boast such a legendary status as Urasawa.
sorry, I'm looking at my dog. I don't know what he's right there. I don't know what he's doing. I'm watching you.
Himself. When you have a track record of titles like Monster, an absolute masterpiece with arguably the greatest villain anime has seen. 20th Century Boys, not just my favorite manga of all time, but one of my favorite pieces of fiction to exist. Pluto is meant to be one of his weaker works, according to diehard fans. And
Really?
goddamn, if this is him operating at his lowest potential, this is like sending in your weakest fighter, and that fighter turns out to be Gojo fucking Satoru.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, that analogy checks out. This has all the calling cards of a classic Urasawa tale. He sets the stage, a sci-fi world where humans and robots coexist, a series of unsolved murders, a detective that is missing part of his memories, a robot that has done the impossible and taken a human life. He hooks you into his world and leaves you with a single question when the first episode
Isn't that just Detroit Become Human? I know this he wrote this way before that, but yeah, thanks, David Cage.
ends. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? The man's ability to construct a mystery and captivate an audience through his mastery of suspense, to me, has the same level of craftsmanship as seeing a master blacksmith make a legendary sword. Every episode is so dense with emotion, a plot that will keep you guessing through all the twists and turns, sitting on top of the sheer thematic depth of the story that every single character carries on their back. And by the end of it all, he'll leave you with these ideas that you'll be thinking about far after the credits roll. This is some of the finest storytelling you can find anywhere. If I had to make a guess why this didn't make as big of an impact as it probably should have, well, this was an adaptation of a sci-fi manga that was written 20 years ago that was originally a reimagining of Asteroid Boy, a manga that came out 60 years ago. So, inevitably, there might be some aspects that feel a bit dated. What's this? So. A war involving the invasion of some Middle Eastern country predicated on the possible developments of robots of mass destruction?
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Fool me once. You can't fool me again.
There's a guy called Adolf.
Oh, boy.
He's a bad guy.
I couldn't agree with you more, my dear Adolf.
But along with a slightly lukewarm ending, this doesn't take away from the legacy of one of the greatest mangakas alive right now. So, I have one question left. Are we ready to attempt a 20th Century Boys anime?
Couldn't tell you. I'm sure we'll find out, though.
Domain expansion.
I haven't seen it. It's not that I wouldn't watch Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't know. Like, the action animes aren't really doing it for me. I don't know why. I think I'm just getting older. Not for me. Probably.
When you watch an action anime, you normally go through a season where you might see a ton of great action, but you know it all builds up to this one, or at most 2 episodes where the production...
Hey, and by the way, when the hell are we getting One Punch Man Season 3? I am so sick of waiting for that, because I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's grossing me out. Season 2 was appalling. How dare... I mean, if you wanted the story, it's good, but the animation was just like, what the hell happened?
Values skyrocket, and you're treated to this insanely animated fight that will drop your jaw to the floor. These are the scenes that everyone remembers and defines the top fights of the year. Jujutsu Kaisen went, how about we do that? For every single episode.
Hopefully,
I don't think I've ever quite experienced the collective adrenaline-filled ride Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 has given me. You put on an episode and be watching some of the sickest shit that's ever been put on screen, and you think to yourself, there's no way they could ever top this. And it's at that moment the show will look you dead in the eye and go, I'll fucking do it again. And then it does. Again and again and again and again and again and again. So many amazing moments, so many sick-ass scenes. Midway through the season, the hype got to me, and I excitedly tweeted out, it should be goddamn illegal for an anime to go this hard. That was the same day all this came out.
Oh, no.
The biggest talking points has been Mappa's treatment of their animators during the season, and I think it's a testament to the blood, sweat, and tears poured into this that we got a product this fantastic despite the hellish work.
Look, you don't get anything good without a little human suffering. That's kind of how that works. That sucks, but you gotta suffer.
Conditions they were going through. Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho. This may not have gotten the opportunity to be as polished as shows like that, but it is.
Hey, didn't Mappa do the second season of One Punch Man? What happened there? Sorry, I just keep going back to One Punch Man.
Is unmatched when it comes to its raw stylistic flair. Every single fight has a unique identity not constrained to one genre of action. We got gritty hand-to-hand combat, citywide disaster-level brawls, insanely unique powers, idle dance beatdowns. There was a mecha fight, a fucking mecha fight in a shonen anime. The amount of hype, the amount of fucking sheer disrespect. We got fucking rabbits throwing hands. This was one of the greatest showcases I've ever seen of, for lack of a better term, fucking cool shit. This felt like the purest celebration of fight scenes and choreography. We were in the audience. They got to marvel at a symphony of some of the coolest set pieces you can find in the medium. The Shibuya arc may not have been peak storytelling or the peak of all shonen arcs, but right now, this is the peak of action spectacle.
Number 2.
The way elves see this world is a mystery.
Oh, yeah.
I thank you, Freyren. It's so...
Everybody is gushing over this and gushing over magical girls as well. But everybody is gushing over this. Yeah, I've seen the memes, seen a couple clips. Yeah, the animation looks really good too. It's kind of got that old school vibe, but it's also like it's very detailed in certain parts.
Only because of you that this retired hero could have one final adventure.
Frieren opens on the story of an elf girl who takes for granted the time she has with the people around her. Decades pass in the blink of an eye, her companions age, and before she has the chance to fully get to know them, they're gone. It's a regretful, poignant tale that shoots straight to your goddamn soul. And then the opening's like... The show took a different approach to fantasy adventure while encapsulating everything that the genre is about. There might not be any demon lord to defeat or world to save, but instead we have a journey about appreciating the smaller things in your life. The beautiful things you might have missed if you forgot to look for them. I showed this to a mate and he was like, Frieren? You mean Side Quest, the anime? And I bloody ate him. Because of how fucking accurate that is. Yet it's through those detours you take along the road to your destination that Frieren absolutely shines. It's the type of show that grips you without ever needing to hit you with any flashy, high-intensity action scenes to keep your attention, and then it hits you with these flashy, high-intensity action scenes. Sure. This series didn't need to go hard in its animation in any way, shape, or form, but chooses to do so anyway. This is what it's like to watch a fully polished product. But like Frieren's own journey, these are not the moments that stick with you. For the world-saving adventure she went on, the slice of memories we get are those small moments that really defined the time she spent with her party. And as she forms new bonds, you start to see those small pieces she begins to pick up from the people around her that slowly become a part of her. This is what every fantasy tale aspires to be. It's shows like these that somehow make you nostalgic for an experience you've never had, friends you've never made. But at its heart, it's a gentle reminder to cherish the things in your life that really matter, to make the most of the time with the people.
Gigguk almost makes me want to cry every time.
People you truly
Stop
value.
Ooh. I'm going to cut the episode short. I've already said enough about Vinland Saga, but if I start talking, if he starts talking about Vinland Saga, go ahead and watch the rest of this by yourself. You guys know you guys know how I feel about Vinland Saga. Helped me out through a really bad time. Anyway, we're going to stop there. Sorry, just go watch the rest of it on your own. I don't want to cry on video, so thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate all the support recently. 5K subs, really cool. I really appreciate it. And thank you, and bye.